peanuts have salmonella? Who pooped in the peanuts?
What's in your mouth? What's in your...
I choose to ignore it because ignorance is bliss.
People with fecal matter all over their
Actually, part
hands
of me-
handling our food. I'm a warrior. I gotta keep busy somehow. Hey guys, this is Alice from Finslippy. Let's talk about toxins and chemicals and, hell, microbes. Let's talk about all the things that apparently are out to kill us all. What's happening here? You know, with the peanut butter recalls? How could peanuts have salmonella? Who pooped in the peanuts? Isn't that what salmonella comes from? Or that, like, E. coli? I don't even know anymore. People with fecal matter all over their hands handling our food, it's not right. And then there's the toy recalls, and I mean the whole Thomas thing, which I was just like, Thomas is so wholesome. How could the Thomas trains have lead on them? But they did. So I guess I'm wondering, how do you guys cope with this stuff? Do you think this stuff's a lot of hype? Or do you just really make it your job to avoid processed foods and all toys and air? Because I don't think anything's safe anymore.
I choose to ignore it because ignorance is bliss. Manufacturers are so scared of being sued that they will recall anything. And sometimes it's just like a freak accident. We have so little control of the course of events anyway that, you know, you put your blinders on and you do the best that you can. You can hope that people are not pooping on their hands and then fondling your lettuce, you know, and you hope for the best.
I like to think myself as very pragmatic. There are things I control, things I don't control. I try not to worry about the former. Like they say, every child has to eat a pound of dirt before their first birthday. How else are they going to get the antibodies? I mean, I'd like to say it's an exaggeration, but in my case, it probably isn't. What's in your mouth? What's in your...
Now, okay, that's a different thing. Okay, dirt, nothing wrong with dirt. In fact, there was just an article in the Times about dirt being good for your child. I think dirt's fine. I'm pro dirt. It's the other things. It's the, you know, the contaminants that are getting into food. That does freak me out.
Our family tries to eat as close to this original source as possible. So we don't eat a lot of processed foods. We try to cook, you know, from scratch. And, you know, we stay away from stuff that we don't understand. When it says like dimethylene diglycolate or whatever on the ingredients list, we don't buy it.
I try to do the same thing. I don't eat dimethyl perchlorinate. I was going to try to remember what you had said, Gian, but I can't remember now. If I can't pronounce it or remember it, I'm not going to eat it. But it's vegetables now. All the time I'm hearing about vegetables. What about salads? I eat a lot of bagged salad because they're pre-washed and that shit's convenient.
Even though there are unhealthy things out there, I think that good practices and common sense can kind of eliminate most of the danger. If you're going to use the same cutting board, you cut your vegetables and fruits first, then you cut your meats. You know, you have to do things in order. You don't go back. There's no going back. There's no putting the barbecued stuff on the plate that you brought it out in.
I am not going to worry about, you know, the salmonella that's probably on my lettuce. Actually, the salmonella or the E. coli is probably on my countertops because, you know, sometimes I don't clean very well. I've relaxed a lot over the years, but in the beginning, I was majorly germ-phobic. And I used to do a weekly bleaching of all the household appliances and the doorknobs and all that kind of stuff. I don't do that anymore. I think having, you know, germs around is a good thing.
I'm sure you all know about the mercury found in high fructose corn syrup. I heard about that and I felt all high and mighty and felt like, well, we don't eat that. We don't do processed foods around here. But it's in everything. It's almost impossible to avoid. I've managed to train my husband to not buy the bread with high fructose corn syrup. But then I was looking at the Hershey's syrup that I was given to my son in his milk the other day, and, you know, it's right there. I'm giving him a mercury shake for lunch.
You know, everybody just needs to chill. Watch out for the real things, the real dangers, but chill, okay? We did much worse when we were kids. I think people might have gotten a little too sucked in by the hype. You know, I only hold so much room in my brain. So if I worry about everything, I'm going to do everything poorly. But if I focus on the few things that I know are fine, then I'll do those things well.
We're not safe. You know, what's next? If Andy's macaroni and cheese turns out to be filled with, I don't know, boron, I'm screwed, because that's all Henry eats.
Join the Momversation at momversation.com.